Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Cody Thomas. An Alaska courtroom is diving into the chilling details of a military marriage turned deadly. 24-year-old Army soldier Zarius Hildebrand is on trial for the murder of his wife, Soraya Barney. Prosecutors argue that he shot her after a night out for his 21st birthday, while Hildebrand has pleaded not guilty and says she actually shot herself. Currently, a detective is on the stand going over evidence found in the victim's phone, which includes screenshots of messages that the defendant sent to other women, very contentious between the two, allegedly, and a list of complaints that seem to show a fractured relationship between them. Let's get you back inside the courtroom for more of the detective's testimony.
Yes, and in a Cellbrite report, what does locations normally show?
So locations show like a specific, let's say you stay at an area for a really long time, it might accumulate that point of data. It also shows the search locations too.
Thank you. So looking at box 22 and 23, and we can begin with 23, as does this also go in reverse order?
Yes.
Thank you. What does 23 show?
So 23 right here is the number, and then this is the location point, like the lat long, and then this is all the information on it. So looking for an animal hospital, the type was search, the hospital was pet emergency treatment, the time was 8/6/2023, 8:38 a.m. Alaska Standard Time, and then this is the address of the pet emergency treatment, 2320 East Dowling Road, and the source was Apple Maps.
Thank you. And what do we see in Exhibit 22?
So 22, the number's right here. This is the latitude and longitude. The description was adult store. It was a searched. Castle Mega Store was what was found. The time was 8/6/2023, 9:19 a.m. The address is 1851 East 5th Avenue in Anchorage, Alaska, and the source was Apple Maps.
And it says adult store. Are you familiar with Castle Mega Store?
Yes.
What kind of store is it?
It's like an adult.
And I can be more specific. Does it sell items that could be used in sexual acts, such as lingerie, sex toys, and things of that nature?
Yes.
Thank you. And that was searched on Sunday, August 6, 2023 at 9:19 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And if we could go to boxes 21 and 20 and 19. Can you just detail what those searches are and the times?
Yeah, so I can go in this descending order again. So, or ascending. 21. So this is again the Latin long. The description is hair salon. Searched. Ronnie's Barbershop is what was found. 8/6/2023, 1:46 p.m. The address is 5955 Old Seward Highway, Anchorage, Alaska. It's kind of cut off, but the source is Apple Maps down here.
Thank you.
And then for box number 20, lat long again, the description is park. Searched, this one, Bancroft Park, 8/6/2023, 2:04 p.m. The address is 1497 Alpenhorn Avenue, and the source is Apple Maps. And then box number 19, lat long again on this box. The description is park, type is searched, the name is Waldron Pond Park. Time is 8/6/2023, 2:05 p.m. The address looks like it's generalized, just Anchorage, Alaska, and then the source is Apple Maps.
Thank you. And are you familiar with Bancroft Park on Alpenhorn?
Yes.
Is that the park directly next to where Soraya Hildebrand's body was eventually recovered?
Yes.
And is that just yards, 100 yards away from the defendant's apartment?
Yes, it's very close.
Thank you. And finally, boxes 18 and 17.
So 18, the Latin long right here, description home and garden supply store was searched. The name is Lowe's, 8/6/2023, 7:59 p.m. The address is 333 East Tudor Road, and the source is Apple Maps. And then we move to 17, Latin long right here. The description is Trailhead. It was searched, Mount Baldy Trail, 8/7/2023 at 2:13 p.m. The It's located in Eagle River, Alaska. The search method source was Apple Maps.
Thank you. 16 and 15, if you can read everything above the address one on both of those, we can skip the address.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for number 16, that long hospital searched, and then Providence, St. Elias Specialty Hospital. Time is 8/7/2023, 5:04 p.m. And then in box 15, description, correctional facility. It was searched, Anchorage Correctional Complex. The time was 8/7/2023, 5:03 p.m.
Thank you. And finally, if you could please go to States Exhibit, and again, please ignore the slide, States Exhibit 341. Is that the journeys aspect?
Yes.
And what does journeys mean in a cell phone extraction?
So journeys are, so whereas locations are kind of like a precise locations, journeys are a journey, like from point to point, that the phone captures.
Thank you. And if you could go to box 6.
All right, still with us, trial attorney Kelly Hyman. Kelly, I want to get your general thoughts on just the facts of this case here, right? I mean, it's, of course, circumstantial. They don't have an eyewitness, which, poses an issue. But, Kelly, we've got a blood-soaked mattress. We've got blood that's seeped all through the carpet. We got blood scattered throughout the home here. We have this guy buying some questionable things in the days and hours after this alleged murder. These are all the centerpieces of a murder conviction.
Brick by brick, that is what the prosecution is doing this case, and using the evidence, such as the digital evidence, against the defendant, which is very, very powerful. It's like building a house slowly by slowly. They are really showing the jury what they believe transpired, what they believe happened, and using every kind of tool possible, especially with digital evidence, because that's really powerful in this case. Messages and searches, it sends a pretty powerful message. Cody.
And Kelly, this defense here, I want to get your thoughts on this defense as well, that, this man, husband, this is his wife, she evidently shoots herself, and his first thought is to panic and to go hide the body and do all this. They admit these are bad decisions, but why wouldn't a husband who cares for his wife call 911? I just don't see this as a very strong defense here. It seems like if there was any case to try to conjure up a plea deal, this should have been the one.
Well, ultimately, that's the defendant's decision. But, it's also be interesting in this case as well if the defendant takes the witness stand, if, in fact, that he gets on the witness stand and tells his story. Now, it's important to remember, if he does do that to try and help establish what he believes of the case, then that opens the door for the prosecution to ask him questions. But to your point, maybe this was, something where they discussed the plea deal and the defendant decided that it wasn't a deal that he felt that it was worth taking, and ultimately, as we say, roll the dice and go to trial and see what happens.
And now, Kelly, with your expertise now, I know you got the legal mind. Would you advise this defendant to take the stand and open himself up to, that risk under that cross-examination? We know that's where the drama comes in when defendants take the stand. Would you advise him to do so, or would you maybe sit this one out?
I may sit this one out, but let's talk about this some more. So ultimately, it is the defendant's decision. They can decide whether or not they want to take the witness stand. Sometimes they don't always listen to their attorney. The attorney might say, don't do it, no matter what. Don't take the stand. They say, I'm going to take the stand. I'm going to be great. But you want to prepare your client. You want to, prepare them, practice with them. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to be. But then also tell them, look, this is the case for the prosecution. They bring it. They have to prove it. So I don't think he's going to testify in this case, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point in time, it seems like it'd be a Hail Mary. I don't know what he really has to lose here with all this evidence that's compiling on top of him. Kelly, my friend, stand by. We're going to take it right back here after this break to Alaska, the murder case for Zarius Hildebrand. Keep it here on Court TV. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Cody Thomas, back now to Alaska and the military marriage murder trial where phone evidence is now coming before the jury. Prosecutors say Zarius Hildebrand shot his wife, then hid her body in a drain pipe and then reported her missing. Now, yesterday's testimony focused on the moment of death, with the medical examiner telling jurors that the wound was not a close contact wound, but the defense pushed back, arguing the evidence does not rule out suicide. Well, currently, the detective on the stand is being cross-examined about the digital evidence from the victim Soraya's phone.
I mean, technically I pressed the phone and it kind of, like, I didn't unlock it yet. So it was before I unlocked the phone.
And if we look at Exhibit 290, we see a little on the right-hand upper side, we see what kind of looks like a battery, and we also see an airplane, correct?
Yes.
And a phone physically has to be put into airplane mode.
Yes.
And you did not put this phone into airplane mode. It came to you that way, correct?
I don't recall putting it into airplane mode. CID actually had the phone before us, so they may have put it in, but I don't recall myself putting it into airplane mode.
Okay. And what time did you receive the phone?
I am not sure the time that, like, I went through it. I know it was on the 9th that I went through it, but I don't know the exact time that I started going through it. My, like, pictures and Axon would have timestamps on them.
Okay. So when you received the phone, it was already in airplane mode?
I believe so, because I don't recall putting it into airplane mode myself.
Okay. Next, I want to direct you to Exhibit 294. And this is a note that you took a picture of on Mrs. Hildebrand's phone, correct?
Correct.
The date associated with that photo is what?
7/12/2023.
7/12/2023. And it's in the notes section of the phone, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell the jury what the notes section of a phone is?
Yeah, so you know how you have different apps on your phone, like Health app or Safari or something like that. There's usually, I think it's pretty much programmed in the iPhones to already have a Notes app, and then you just click it, and then it's almost like what you're writing on. It's just like a notepad, and you can type whatever you want in there. You can make lists or do bullet points or whatnot.
And you described this as notes of their relationship. Do you recall saying that?
Yes.
Fair to say the notes app is not directed at a specific person.
There is no name mentioned in this particular one, yes.
And again, this is a note that was placed on the phone by Mrs. Hildebrand.
It was found on the phone.
Okay. So we don't necessarily even know who made it.
No.
We don't know who this is directed at.
There is no name on it. Yeah.
And it's just something you found on the phone.
Yes.
Exhibits 296 and 295.
Which one would you like to start with? The first page, the 295?
Yes.
Okay.
These were created on April 3rd, 2023, correct?
Correct. That's the timestamp on the top of it.
And again, you don't know necessarily who wrote it.
Correct.
You don't know why they wrote it.
No, I guess I don't know their reasonings for writing the notes.
And it's from April.
Yeah, April 3rd, 2023.
And how many months are between April and August?
Oof, I think 4. 4 and 8, yeah.
Exhibit 298.
Yes.
Who's depicted in that photo?
So it looks like Zarius is the one with the white shirt, and then you can't see the other person's face in the photo, but you can see tattoo and then clothing.
Okay. And that time was, the stamp on it is Sunday at 0055, correct?
Yes.
So in layman's terms, that's Sunday morning at 12:55 a.m.
Yeah, 55 minutes after midnight.
And what is Zarius doing in this photo?
It looks like he's partially sleeping. I mean, his eyes are slightly closed and his mouth is open, consistent with someone sleeping.
Thank you. I want to talk next about Exhibit 300. This is a screenshot you took of an Instagram conversation, correct?
It's a photo of a screenshot, but yeah.
So let's break that down. First is a photo of a phone, correct?
Or yeah, photo of a photo that's on a phone. I took a photo of the photo that's on the phone.
So there's a bunch of layers there, fair to say, of different layers of photos. So you start with a picture of your phone, correct?
Like the picture I took with my phone?
No, you're taking a picture with your phone,
Yes.
and it's of another person's phone,
Yes.
and then on the phone is a picture. Is another picture, correct?
Yes.
And did you get the metadata associated with the underlying picture?
So that's what the Cellbrite has on it, and we kind of went through that earlier, where we can did the hyperlink to the photos that were found on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
The conversation in the screenshot that's on the phone, you don't know what time that conversation took place, correct?
No, I didn't have timestamps on it. This was all the available data. It's not like I could swipe it over to see the times or something because it was a picture.
You don't know the month it took place,
No, I don't.
the year it took place.
No, I don't.
You don't know who it's between.
No, I don't.
You just know that it's a screenshot that was taken at a certain time, correct?
Correct.
I want to talk a little bit more about Snapchat really quick.
Okay.
Do you use Snapchat?
Yes.
Snapchat doesn't save messages automatically, correct?
You can change settings, just like you can change Instagram and Facebook settings to disappear right away or save indefinitely. And then we kind of talked about before for the automatically portion, but then you can manually also save things like we talked about before, just tapping on it and it saves it.
Okay, so generally with Snapchat, if someone sends a Snapchat, does it disappear after the person looks at it if you don't save it?
It depends on the settings that you have. So kind of for Instagram, I have some chats that have disappearing messages, and then some that are saved. So it depends on what settings you put for Snapchat.
Were you using Snapchat in 2023?
I'm sure I was. I've had it since like 2017.
And in 2023, what were the settings on Snapchat like?
I'm not sure what they were.
When Snapchat first started, was the idea behind Snapchat that the messages would disappear immediately unless the person saved them?
I don't know the ideology of Snapchat when it first started.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about these exhibits 301, these and the other ones documenting what you've...
All right, let's bring in our guest this hour. Still with us, trial attorney Kelly Hyman, but now joining us this hour, litigator Rosemary Rivas. Rosemary, great to see you, my friend. I'm going to start here with you. I just want to get your general thoughts, Rosemary, on the defense in this case. This whole she shot herself, the defendant panicked, though this is his wife, and made a series of bad decisions including, hiding her body in a storm drain in a drain pipe. What are you making of this defense here? Oh, Rosemary, I think you're muted, my friend.
Thank you.
Simple fix.
Thank you for having me. I think the defense is going to do what they can, and they right now they are trying to cross-examine a witness and it's to poke holes in the prosecution's case. Their strategy is going to be to try to show that he didn't murder her, that yes, maybe he did hide the body, but that he did that out of fear.
Absolutely. Kelly, let's talk about some testimony that is being discussed, throughout chat rooms I've been seeing online and everything about one of these former witnesses, military buddy of this defendant here, who went to see Mr. Hildebrand behind bars and said that during their conversation, Zarius told him, hey, I hope this thing isn't recording because I did what I did, which, first of all, they clearly aren't watching enough court TV or any true crime shows to know that everything in a jail is recorded, right? But he says, I hope this thing isn't recording because I did what I did. Not necessarily a direct, I killed my wife, but I did what I did. I'm sure those 5 words are going to be damaging as this trial moves forward.
Those are very powerful words. And as an attorney, you're shaking your head. Why did you say something? Of course they record you. Of course they are taking down what you say. And that is really powerful statement, right? Because it really, after the fact, shows the allegations from the prosecution standpoint, but then from the defense standpoint, the spin would be, well, he did what he did after the fact, but that wasn't the murder because she killed herself, but he did what he did after the fact because he was so panicked and upset and stressed out about the situation. So potentially it could cut both ways, Cody.
It's just a certain degree of ambiguity that the defense could spin, like you just said. It doesn't sound good, but I guess that's a strategy they could use as far as that goes. Rosemary, now the jury saw several crime scene photos, right? Some of which showed Sarai's dead body under this bedding in this drain pipe. Of course, I expect that, probably garnered a visceral reaction out of some of these jurors seeing something so horrendous. Now, we know that crime scene photos sometimes tell a more persuasive story than just hours of witness testimony. But I feel that the defense could still argue that these photographs, while they are emotionally tense, I guess, they still don't prove who pulled the trigger.
That's right, but the prosecution is obviously trying to get the jurors to feel emotions, to feel sad, to want to punish someone and find someone guilty, and that's what they're doing, and they're going to play all the cards that they have.
Absolutely. Kelly, Rosemary, stand by, my friends. More from Alaska on the other side of this break. And we're going to keep it right here on Court TV. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Cody Thomas, and this is day 6 of the military marriage murder trial in Anchorage, Alaska. Now, the state's case is expected to wrap up on Monday, but key testimony coming from a detective earlier today was the jury seeing a list of complaints the victim Soraya had made in her notes app on her phone about her and Zarius' relationship. The detective also displayed screenshots between the defendant and other women. Let's get you back inside the courtroom to see how the defense handles this evidence under cross-examination.
So the bottom one should be in the middle.
Okay. So 301 corresponds to 303, and then 303 corresponds to 302?
Yeah, so 303 and 302, and 301 is probably underneath them, because these are April 27th, and then 301 is April 28th and May 18th, which comes after April 27th.
And then 304, where would that correspond in this chain? Would it go above 303?
So it's April 26th, so in between April 27th and April 28th.
So with the exhibits, you would say in this chain of communication, 304 would have preceded
301.
301.
Yeah, by the dates, yes.
And then we have 305. What did you match that? Which exhibit did you match that one to?
What do you mean, which of
The
these?
timeline of these photos.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually put them in timeline. I took them as what they were when we were investigating them, so I'm doing this with you now. But I don't see, like, obvious, like, pictures, like, you know, how 302 and 303 are. I don't see, like, obvious ones to, like, line it up. I just see the timestamps, the 1351, 1653, and 1655, so I can't really say where it would be in this timeline.
Fair to say it says I'll fly you out in the summer.
Yes.
So it would probably not be in the summer when this message was sent.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say, like, in the summer, I'll still fly you out in the summer.
And then can you match 306 up in this chain? Does it correlate to any other?
So it's April 24th.
It's
so
April 24th.
yeah. So it would be the first one. Yeah, it'd be before everything. So the very first one for what we have so far.
And then 308 was on April 20th, so it'd go before the other exhibits.
Yep. So that'd be the new number one.
Okay. 309. There's no date associated with that, correct?
There's not a date on here. I can look to see if any of these images match, but I don't see one that matches. So yeah, this one I'm not sure where it would end up in the timeline.
So it's a random one we can't really associate with other ones.
I mean, like, they're all in the same chat. Like, it's all the same person, Cheyenne. It has the same profile and stuff like that. I just don't know where in this timeline we've created it would go.
Okay. And then 310. What date is on that?
April 24th.
And can you correlate it to the chain of exhibit that we've established with the exhibits? Where would it go in there?
So 306 is also April 24th.
Okay.
From like my opinion, is that these are videos that are sent, and this is a screenshot of a different part of the videos that are sent. So you can see the wording is the same, literally obsessed. It has a cart under it. The photos, she looks to be wearing the same things, and it has the same angle. So it's almost like two shots of like different portions of video, if that makes sense. So it's like tied with 306. So it's like the same shot, but just different versions of the video. Does that make sense?
Yes, so it's about April.
24th, yeah.
April 24th.
Yeah.
And then we have exhibit 307.
That's July 23rd?
That the was sent, correct?
Yes.
If I can approach again?
Yes.
I kind of have a mess.
The timeline.
Yes, I do.
So let's start with your first one. Which exhibit is the first?
308.
308. And what day is that?
April 21st.
And then just, what would be the next?
So, like I said before, I think 306 and 310 are the same, just different screenshots of the video. And those are April 24th.
And the next?
303 and 302, and that would be April 27th is 303. And then, do you want me just to continue?
Yeah.
Okay. 304 is going to be April 26th, 301 is April 28th, and 307 is July 23rd, and then these two are the ones that we couldn't figure out.
Okay, and to be clear, July 23rd, the message is huh.
Yes.
We don't know what day the message above July 23rd was sent.
Correct.
Thank you. I do want to follow up a little bit more about just some of the other work that you've done, and you're welcome to put those away however you feel would be best. So you initially got involved in this case on August 9th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things that you testified to previously was that you canvassed the apartment area of 5210 Mockingbird Drive. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you went to multiple apartments, correct?
Yes.
You went to apartment 110.
Yes.
And you left a card.
Yes.
And then the person at apartment 10 actually spoke to Detective Lee, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went to apartment 111.
Yes.
And you knocked on the door, correct?
Yes.
No one answered.
Yes.
You left a card.
Yes.
Did you ever go back?
I did not go back and recanvass.
You went to apartment number 112.
Yes.
You knocked on the door.
Yes.
No one answered.
Yes.
You left a card.
Yes.
And you never went back.
I did not recanvass.
And you made contact. You went to apartment 113.
Yes.
And you contacted a gentleman at a gentleman at 113.
Yes. Tyler.
And you feel you didn't receive any relevant information from him.
No.
Okay. And fair to say you never went back after you spoke with him.
I did not recanvass.
You went to apartment 114.
All right, still with us this hour, trial attorney Kelly Hyman and litigator Rosemary Rivas. Kelly, in your expert opinion here, how is this defense attorney doing? It feels like she was, as she was talking about those images with the witness here, it's almost as if she was viewing them for the first time, almost as if she was asking this witness to explain some of these exhibits to her. What are you seeing here?
I'm not seeing anything. Rosemary and I were texting each other during the break, and I was asking her, what am I missing? Is there something there? What's going on? There's long pauses between her questions. What exactly is the point? What does she want? Is it the timetable to try and establish something? It was lost on me, Cody.
Yeah, I was just, where is she going here? Rosemary, let me get your thoughts as well. What did you see or lack thereof?
She seems like she's trying to methodically prove something, and hopefully something. I don't know, maybe trip up the witness. I don't know, but it does seem like she's going into painstaking detail, and we'll just have to keep trying to figure it out.
Yeah, of course. Kelly, let's go here. You know, prosecutors, of course, say that Zarius Hildebrand waited more than a day before reporting his wife missing. Again, you know, to the point of this is somebody you care about, and there's a delay here. It could be, you know, an hour delay before calling 911, and that still looks suspicious in some of the cases we cover here at Court TV. How powerful is that fact, do you think, you know, if jurors conclude that, you know, a concerned spouse would have acted quicker?
Usually you don't know what the jury hangs their hat on. And what I mean is one type of evidence or one key thing that makes them say, yes, this is it for them. But we have to think about that. That's pretty powerful information. Cody, you brought it up. If you have someone that you really love, you have someone that you really care about, why do you wait so long? Mm-hmm. What is the reason why? Unless you're trying to hide something, okay, the argument could be made that you were in shock and you didn't know what was going on. But how long do you wait? An hour, 2 hours?
Yeah, not a full day, right? Not 24 to 36 hours. I mean, that just doesn't make any common sense, right? Rosemary, you know, in that same sentiment, talking about maybe, you know, post-crime behavior. We heard a lot about testimony about he was acting kind of weird. We heard from the victim's mother, you know, when they were going to search for Soraya. And, you know, they had the military, you know, searching and everything, and they had dogs out. And this guy didn't even want to give them, you know, a scent sample for the dogs to have something to go on to try to find her body. That's another damaging thing to me as we hear testimony like that. Talk to me about how much weight that a jury places on post-crime behavior, because as we all know, you know, the way you act can tell all.
I think it's human nature to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes and question, what would I have done in that situation, as a loving husband, as someone who's married to their spouse. And I think a juror would really question that and put that in the bucket for the prosecution. Mm-hmm. And the prosecution is definitely going to focus on facts like that post conduct, what happened afterwards.
Yeah, it just seems like the prosecution has a very strong case. Though circumstantial, again, everything seems to be piling up, and there's a lot of common sense behind this case, right? I mean, like you said, you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You have to be a reasonable thinking person. What would I have done? What makes sense? So we'll see how it plays out. But Kelly Hyman, Rosemary Rivas, thank you both for joining us this evening. We'll do it again soon, my friends. Great to see you both. Folks, more testimony from Alaska on the other side of this break. Keep it right here on your front row seat to justice.